Good morning, everybody. My name is Brian Heater. I am the managing editor at A3. Welcome to Automate Live. We're kicking things off today with Donna Ennis. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your organization.
Well, thank you for having me here today, Brian. My name is Donna Ennis, we said, and I am the Associate Vice President for the Georgia Tech Enterprise Innovation Institute, which is the oldest university-led economic development organization in the world. I'm here today representing our Georgia Artificial Intelligence and Manufacturing Program, which is a statewide program that focuses on the development and deployment of innovation and talent in AI for manufacturers.
Okay. So when you say oldest, how old are we talking?
Over 60 years.
60 years.
60 years. We've been really working at bringing economic development solutions to communities actually across the world. We have worked in 28 countries, as I said before, helping communities build their economic base.
Yeah. One of the conversations we actually used to have more was brain drain, right? So it's we've got these world-class universities. Obviously, Georgia Tech is one of those, but people would go to like Silicon Valley or New York. Is that part of your program, is just making sure that all of the really sort of like bright, gifted people stay in Atlanta or stay in?
Well, actually stay in Georgia.
Yeah.
For example, with our Georgia AIM program, we have a major focus on developing a pipeline that I told you earlier I call K to Gray. And that is to be able to...
So I said K is kindergarten, Gray is their hair.
The baby boomers that are either out there or they're coming back into the workforce, right? And so we really have a very robust program to ensure that we are training folks along the way, upskilling, reskilling, and then we have programs to place them in rural areas in Georgia, not just in Atlanta, but also in Atlanta area as well. So our particular program, we have over 40 partners initially around the state that have come together as a coalition to really work on AI in manufacturing. So we have the innovative side where we're identifying companies like startups that are that have AI innovations and products and services focused on manufacturing. And then we have the talent side where we're developing and working and placing individuals into manufacturing.
Did the pandemic change the math on that in terms of where people are located? You know, in terms, obviously, like traditionally, certainly for tech jobs, they need to be in these major centers like Atlanta. But post-COVID, are you finding that people are more sort of dispersed and that there's more people doing remote work throughout the state?
Oh, definitely. And don't have the statistics on
No,
that.
no, it's fine.
But one of the things
It's
that
gonna be a pop quiz.
Yeah, not a pop quiz. But one of the things that we, are focused on is keeping our communities, growing the communities that we have in Georgia. That is really a major focus. So our projects really work. We work, for example, with the technical colleges, the technical college system in Georgia. We have a really strong partnership with them where we're helping to help build curriculum, train individuals in their communities, place them in their communities. We've opened and are opening innovation labs within the colleges, also within training centers. So we have a veterans program where we're working with the Veteran Education Center in Middle Georgia near Warner Robins Air Force Base. So we have quite a bit going on the Georgia AIM that is for us is with the mission of, as I said before, developing the pipeline, but also developing that pipeline for Georgia.
Yeah, so we've been talking about one side of things, and that's kind of where my reporting focus is on the high tech side of things, on the startup side of things. But the other big piece of this, we're at Automate. The other piece of this is manufacturing, and that's been a focus for you as well.
That's been a huge focus. One of the things that we're really focused on is helping our small to mid-sized manufacturers deploy technology, AI. When I come here, this is my second time at Automate, and I'm just just flabbergasted at how much is going on, and really odd. And last year was a little bit overwhelming, but I'm really odd at how much is going on and how much we need to work on ensuring that our small to mid-sized manufacturers, who are typically the lifeblood of supply chains, making sure that they are brought into the 21st, 22nd century, that they have the technology, that they understand, that they have a workforce that can change and be resilient. So I say that there are three things that we have to do with our workforce: resilience, innovation, and knowledge. I think if we train workforces for those three things, it can be AI today, it's going to be robots today, cobots, humanoids, it'll be something else in 10 years, right?
Yeah.
But if we have a skilled, resilient workforce, they'll be able to move regardless of what's happening. And for us, we're really focused on manufacturing. We want to make manufacturing cool again.
Okay.
That's our thing.
I got good news. I was talking to somebody about this recently, and I don't know if you're noticing this too, but I hear that like Gen Z specifically, they're a lot more interested in these trade jobs
They
than
are.
before.
They are. And I think that's because we're really, and when I say we, there's a collective we here. And I think we're really working hard on, at least for me, my passion is helping our next generations understand what their pathway is for success. And whether it is going to a technical school, going into the military, going to a four-year college, whatever that pathway is,
Yeah.
we want to
It's not
equip
one size
them.
fits
It's not
all.
one size fits all.
Yeah.
And we want to equip them with that. And I think that is why it's so important, especially on our K through 12 level, to ensure that we help them be creative and see the vast difference amount of opportunities available to them. And for me and for us, particularly in manufacturing, because I don't know that a lot of them, when you're talking to your parents or your parents are talking to you about what you want to be when you grow up,
Sure.
I don't know very many people that say, "Oh, I want to be a manufacturer,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's something that we are, working on.
Let's talk about the great part.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? So you kind of alluded to this before, but you're part of your role or part of the organization's role is reintroducing people into the workforce?
Into reintroducing them into the workforce. For example, as I said before, we work with the Veteran Center. There's a Veteran Education Resource Center down in Warner Robins. So we opened an enhanced robotics lab there that's actually training veterans on production lines and manufacturing. And then we've placed veterans from that program as well. That we've got. I think we might be on the fourth cohort. So that's an example of one of the programs we have.
Yeah. And in terms of working specifically with trade schools, what are you doing to ensure that part of that trade education is both introducing them to AI and current technologies, but also, insofar as this is actually possible, kind of future proofing those roles?
What do you mean by future proofing?
As far as as you said, technology is consistently changing, so kind of preparing them for some of the changes going forward.
Yeah, so we have a really strong technical system in Georgia, the Technical College System of Georgia, TCSG. And so the curriculum, our TCSG's system also works with our career academies that have, different careers within the program. So I don't know about foolproofing, but
Sure.
we're trying to build curriculums that will help our students move sort of seamlessly through their pathway.
Yeah, are there any Georgia-based, whether like AI, robotics, or like high-tech companies that you'd like to call attention to?
Yeah, we have one here, R2 Lab.
All right.
I think their booth is 6643, and they do controllers.
Okay.
So that's the main one that we have here today, and they are actually a member of our Advanced Technology Development Center, ATDC, at Georgia Tech, at our Enterprise Innovation Institute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to them if I can.
Yeah, I think we're kind of running low on time,
Okay.
so we can end on this, but. The conversation, I keep trying to find delicate ways to back into this conversation without getting super political, but
Yeah.
how much has the conversation around, obviously this is something you and the organization have been interested in for a long time now, but how has the conversation around reshoring and around bringing domestic manufacturing back changed, both since the pandemic, supply chain shortages, but also the last 6 months or so?
Yeah, it's evolved. I would say it's evolved. The conversation, we are really focused on building our manufacturers in Georgia. We really are. And so while the conversation has evolved, we've actually been working on it for quite some
Yeah.
time. And so, I think we know that for us, we want to make sure that our supply chain is robust and is ready, and that is typically our small to mid-sized companies. And so I think we have to focus more and more on that particular type of manufacturer to help build a strong supply chain.
No, Donna, thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody out there. We've got a lot of good shows, episodes, interviews coming up on Automate Live, so stay tuned.